So I think first of all we'll have a gin and tonic. So I actually designed this Gin Ting, so I didn't actually have to garnish it, but as a preferred garnish, strawberries or any fruit really goes well with it. I don't suggest lemon or lime. So if we get a nice double or your miniature, so we'll pour that in. Again, you know, I can go into the gin side of it, and you can smell the passion fruit coming through. Have a taste of it neat. I don't do that. I'm not that hardcore. So I'll go with. Normally, I pair this with a Fever Tree Mediterranean, which goes great with all of our gins. To be fair, just put that in there. Get this gin to go, and I'll tell you all about it. Cheers. So I designed it so it was a flavoured gin, but not to be too sweet, so you can taste it. It goes great mixed with the tonic, and as the drink settles with the ice, it infuses even more and more, and you'll find out, which I do anyway, I personally think, becomes very moreish. But the problem is with that, you can't stand up after the next hour or two after drinking it. So this is where it all started. This is my man cave. This is at the bottom of our garden. I've got my office over there, and I've got gin bar, a rum bar, whiskey, prosecco and whatever, so I spend a hell of a lot of time down here. It all started really with, I play rugby. We finish rugby, have a load of beer, have a meal, and after that meal I'm just absolutely stuffed, and I always needed that extra, the short drink afterwards, and I don't really like vodka and anything else. But I just remember an old boy years ago said to me, gin and tonic, excuse me, is the best drink in the world, and now I can actually agree with what he said. So many hours down in the man cave, I'd just get a normal basic London dry gin, as cheap as anything, put it in the glass. I used to mix it with cordials, elderflower cordial, fruit, anything that's going to flavour it until you get to this position. And I'm sure, like I said earlier, you've probably done your own gin and thought this is great. I just think that, you know, if you can make a small amount of gin, so if you've done 20, 30 bottles, you know, and you're not really wanting to set a business up, they're great Christmas presents to give to your friends and family, you know, rather than something you just bought from a supermarket. Go, actually, here's my gin, try it, enjoy it. So sitting in the cave, doing all my tasting, and I'm like, right, I'm going to make my own gin. So I had to go to bed then because it was 2:30 in the morning, but 2 weeks later, I was looking into it. Now, I don't have my own distillery, because back then, you know, I didn't even have the clue how to start, you know, making gin, let alone flavouring it, producing it, bottling it, and all the rest of it. So I thought I'd go through to a contract distiller, done some research online, contacted this distiller, had a meeting with them. Part of the meeting was, and this is what we can all do at a time, didn't cost anything. You go there, there was a few bottle options we could choose from. So I already had in my head, I wanted a nice big square, well, rectangle bottle, big face to it, because I had this picture in mind. This is, I don't know if you can see, a picture, that's me paddleboarding on the River Gannel. It's in a place called Crantock. It's a little village just outside Newquay in Cornwall. We spend half of our time in the Midlands, hence the rubbish accent, and the better part of our time down in Cornwall. So I had in my idea, I wanted a big looking bottle, which we found, and then it was a case of starting with your base gin. So the people who was meeting me, the mixologists there, we worked together, and eventually, with all different botanicals, got the London dry gin of Gin Ting. And then we introduced my flavour profile, which are passion fruit, mango and elderflower. Also in there, as you're drinking it, you might taste ginger and grapefruit. They're sort of in the background as well. So they put this together for me as a completed drink, and after lots and lots of testing, which was really fun, can't remember a lot of it, but lots and lots of testing, we actually approved a recipe. And so Gin Ting was born. So it was a case then of like, how much did I want, and what was the minimum order with this contract distiller? 600 bottles it was. So it was a hefty outlay, but I thought, you know, if I can't sell 600 bottles in a year, I can't sell anything. It's gin. Everyone wants to try gin. Tastes nice. It'll go. So, all right, I'm investing my money into the business, but I knew eventually I'll get it back. Even if I broke even, I'll get it back. A big part of Gin Ting for me was there's many gins out there, flavoured gins, and with knowing more about the business, I understand why a lot of these gins, these flavoured gins, are so sweet, because it's a lot cheaper to sweeten the gin with sugar. Where I wanted to, trying to be a fitness guy and saying that, you know, this will be a healthier side of a gin, is to have all my flavours that are in there not to have any sugar. So the sweetness that comes through on the gin, the flavours and that, are all natural flavours. So there's, as I say, no added sugar, there's no allergens. So basically anyone can drink it. And this is sort of, I want it to be the base of Gin Ting, so the healthier option. It's 42.5%, so you know when you've had a few. And then so we've got Gin Ting, we've got the recipe, we've got the name. Thought Gin Ting was quite cool, not too serious. Like I say, there isn't a massive history behind it apart from just a one-man band, one have a go, life's too short, see what happens, you know, that sort of thing. So what we do next is register the business. So standard, go to company's house, set the business up, Gin Ting Limited. Myself and my wife are partners in the business, and we're up and running. So I understood that we just buy gin from this contract distiller, I get it arrives, we sell it, and that's the job done. But it's a bit more complicated than that, whereas one is you need certain licenses. So you need what's called an ARWS license, which is basically a license to prove you're creditable to distribute alcohol to different wholesalers. So part of that is a simple application online to the department. You get assigned a case representative. They then arrange a meeting with you, and in my case, because my business was at my house, my home residence, they come out to your house. They want to know who I am, if I'm responsible to be selling, moving alcohol, wanted to see a business plan. So you have to prepare all this. It's quite a big thing, and it's worth going into detail about, because for them to come and have one meeting with you and tick it all off and go, right, yeah, leave it with us for a couple of weeks and we'll have your licence. It's a lot, you know, it's worth the background work to get it right and make it work. So you get your licence, and one of my benefits from not making my own, having my own distillery as such, and as using a contract distiller, is I actually benefit from their credentials as well. So we've got all the health and safety, hygiene certificates, movement, because obviously there's duty on alcohol. So for instance, the higher percentage of alcohol volume, obviously the higher duty that we pay. So for a bottle of Gin Ting, every single bottle is £8.55 duty. Obviously very important regarding HMRC, that needs to be noted and moved across wherever the gin changes hands. So, and obviously, and the next benefit from working with a contract distiller was, fortunately, touch wood, and the way it's gone, how the business has grown so quickly, like I'll explain a bit later, how I've actually relied on them more. So, business is set up, registered name, got our licence, we've got the products, we know what we're doing, we've got the prices, we've set a retail price. One note that I did do, and it cost, I think it was about £250, was to get the name trademarked, because the worst thing that could happen is if you bring out, you know, an amazing gin that you lot are going to do, because hopefully one of you will do this, bring out a gin, and then you don't trademark the name or part of the brand, and then someone copies you. It's like, it'd be crucifying to me, you know, for that to happen. So for I say a little, but £250, it's well worth the application. Again, just online, type in your company name, what name you wanted to register. What happens then is they put it out into the open for 12 weeks. So it can be contested by any other brand. You know, Gin Ting, I thought may have had some contested from Ting. I don't know if you know the grapefruit can, which coincidentally goes amazing with Gin Ting as a different type of drink. But it went through fine. We got no problems with it, and it looks it finishes the whole business now. To have a registered sign next to your name, it looks a lot, you know, more professional as such. Excuse me. So the plan was 600 bottles. I'm guessing that it cost me between £13,000 and £15,000 to do. So it is a big outlay, and fortunately my wife backed me, went with it, sort of thing. And like I said before, the plan was, if we can get rid of these 600 bottles within a year, it's not too serious, made a bit of beer money, and we'll do the same again next year. So going along the line, we launched on 2018, May the 4th, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And within 30 days, from a little bit of marketing that I've been doing with Instagram and Facebook, because that is a massive catalyst into getting your brand out there, because everyone, there's gin groups, everyone's after the new next best thing, sort of thing. The 600 bottles sold within 30 days. So, you know, I thought, I'm onto something here. So reordered another batch of 600, another pallet arrived at the house, and we'd had pre-orders. We've had people drinking it from 18-year-olds, which didn't really like gin. 'Cause it used to be years ago, gin and tonic was an older person's drink, but obviously that market's changed. A lot of the younger people, they have, because they're not too keen on tonic, they have it with lemonade. But because it's just a nice moorish drink, it flies, you know, it goes down really well. So after second batch, I started approaching wholesale companies, bigger ones in the country like Matthew Clark, LWC, but then also the smaller ones local to me, Cater 4. If you Google it, there'll be wholesalers everywhere, bookers, people like that. And I used to finish my normal job, come home, and then I'd do like 2 or 3 emails every day just to go out to different wholesalers, and obviously thousands and thousands of gins out there. It was a constant, no, we're not interested. What? Another gin, you know, it's just, so you have a lot of, you know, refusals and that, but then one of them will take you on, and when they start pushing it out there, it's a new gin, people like it, different profile, because no one had a passion fruit, mango and elderflower. There's a lot of people now copying it, but it's not as good. So they start taking it on, the name gets bigger, we do more work on Facebook and Instagram. Me being an idiot, different innuendos, trying to make people laugh. I think I'm funny, I'm not. And people follow us and then start drinking it. Being based half the time down in Cornwall, I went round all the local bars down on Fistral Beach. I don't know if you know Newquay very well. There's the Headland Hotel, Fistral Beach Central, all through Newquay. And I managed to get listed with St Austell Brewery. And following that meeting, we was just flooded then throughout Cornwall, because not a better place to drink it in the sun, by the beach. Just great settings, sort of thing. So that happened. We had a great summer through the first 3 months or so from May, and then I had an email just out the blue from Witherspoons, and got this email. Hi there, can you send us 2 bottles of your Gin Ting in to our head office? We want to just have a taste of it, test it out. And I thought it was my mates messing me around and whatever, but sent these bottles down. About a month later, I got an email from them, would you like to come down and present to us down in Watford? So, yeah, I've never done this before. This was just a man cave idea, and now I'm driving to Watford with 2 bottles of Gin Ting, bag of strawberries, box of ice, some little shot glasses, in my shorts and flip-flops, and I'm standing in a big room, and there's like 9 other brands there, big brands that you'd all well-known brands. And I'm like, I don't know, I can't believe this is happening. And the response that we got that evening was just unreal. The buyers come over to me and just said, this is really good, we'll be in touch. Thinking nothing of it, I think we got to around December time, and we got an email back from them to say, we are keen, can you start sending us prices across? We had a few conversations, one to make sure that I could back up with the supply, because it's such a big chain, biggest in the UK. And the benefit then, one benefit from using the contract distiller, as soon as I mention the contract distiller, no problem, because they know that they can cope with the volume and if it should ramp up so much and quickly. So we started pricing it. I asked a few people in the industry, which is great within the alcohol industry. It's a bit incestual that we all help each other out. I've asked a couple of friends who were new made gin, and they advised me different routes and stuff. So part of my email to Wetherspoons was to ask them, is it a May stock or a must stock? And a must stock would be served in every single Wetherspoons in the UK. I think there's 900 and something bars, and it has to be behind every bar. Or a May stock would be, it's on their list to buy. So if your local Wetherspoons wanted it, they could purchase it from their buying department. Sent the prices over, done a bit more talking with them, and then I think it's about 3 days before Christmas of that year, we done the deal. We had the deal. Couldn't believe it. We got a must stock. My brother-in-law who works with me, I'm running around his office, I'm jumping in the air, I can't believe it. And with the intention then was we entered Wetherspoons on Valentine's Day the following year, in February, into their festival that they do, which is really quite good. And then once the festival closes, Gin Ting stays on as a new gin within their menu. And it's the first Wetherspoons magazine, and it's got Gin Ting on there. I have lunch on a Thursday at Wetherspoons, and just to see your drink behind the bar and on menus and stuff, it's like really, really overwhelming. And then you're standing at the bar and you hear someone order it, you just cannot believe it. But going back to the power of the brand Wetherspoons, it's an amazing company. It's turned Gin Ting from me producing 600 bottles, like in our first year, I think we've done over 60,000 bottles in the first year, which is amazing. And you just think, this is, we've cracked it there. But going back to the business side of it, it's a good bad headache to have, but obviously there's a lot of money that you've got to outlay. You've got to find all this money to, you're paying the duty, the cost of the product, the duty on the product, the delivery, all the rest of it, the big picture, 60,000 bottles or more, whatever. So you go to the bank and you go, okay, well, I've set Gin Ting up 6 months ago. I've just got a contract with Wetherspoons. I need to borrow money. I need hundreds of thousands of pounds here to fulfil this order. And the bank are like, no, you've got no trading history. You're 6 months old. Forget it. I'm like, well, sorry, I thought it said bank there. And usually you borrow money from your bank to build your business, and we support each other, and I'll pay you a little bit of interest. But it was just a no. So this potentially could have broke me as Gin Ting supplying Wetherspoons, and I would have had to pull out. But fortunately, we were moving house in Cornwall, and we had a bit of time in between selling our property to when our new property was ready. So we had a bit of equity that we was holding on to until we had to pay for the new house. Pinched it out of the equity, put it into Gin Ting, and I was hoping I had like a 3 month gap to start supplying the big volumes and then hopefully bankrolls through, get the money back, pay the house off, put it back into the house, don't get an earache off the missus because we haven't got the other house, and it all went hunky-dory. And fortunately, it did. It all worked out well. And it's grown and grown and grown from there. Part of setting up the business, I created a website. I just done it through Shopify. I found it really easy to do. I pay £25 to £30 a month for the Shopify platform. It is actually a template, so you can add in, like I'm doing just a couple of products. There's a template just for that, so you insert a picture there, a bit of writing there, and it's really easy. And you get feedback of how many people are using it, sharing it, what they've done on your website. And it was really good, and the feed from people knowing more about it from Witherspoons. I was coming home from work, normal work, and then packing up lots of boxes of gin and sending them out. But what I've done now is I use a forwarding distributor called Masters of Malt. And so when you go on the website now to purchase, it links you through to their website, and they distribute it all over the world. And to my surprise, all my range actually got sent over to Australia. And I think they've been in Italy and different places like that, which is like unreal. So we've off the back of Witherspoons now, all these wholesalers that was going, no, 6 months ago, I send them the email now and they're like, oh yeah, we'd love it, because you've raised that awareness and people know who we are. So the following summer, I know everybody orders a pink gin. I'm not a pink gin guy. I don't mind ordering a pink gin, no problem at all. Stick my little finger out and all the rest of it, that's fine. But I decided to bring out a berries gin, which is our Gin Ting berries. So it's quite simple now, because again, another benefit from this contract distiller, I don't actually employ them, but obviously they work for me or with me at Gin Ting now. So we've got our London base, so this is always the base that we start with. And with this berries gin, we've added strawberry, blueberry, blackberry and raspberry. And it's amazing. It's not pink, but it's a wonderful drink. Again, Mediterranean tonic, just a light tonic's fine. Again, no added sugar. I didn't want it to be, I wanted with this one, talk about gin, I wanted the juniper to come through. I wanted to taste the gin. So you get the gin and tonic there, but you'll finish the drink in your mouth, but you'll still taste all these flavours in the background. And it's really, really nice, and it works really, really well. So we brought that out because of the success of passion fruit. They automatically take berries on then, and now we're starting to move further and further into creating different range extensions. And over the time, we've been in the industry doing different events. Everyone's saying rum's the next thing. Flavoured rum, this time next year is going to overtake gin. So going back to my distiller, I put that out there that I wanted to do a flavoured rum. I don't actually like rum, like I didn't like gin until I've made it, so I liked it, sort of thing. And so they came back to me with Caribbean rums. There's all different types, spiced, flavoured vanillas and stuff like that. We found a Caribbean rum that I was happy with. And the easiest route for me was to just replicate the exact same recipe from Gin Ting passion fruit, but with a rum. So now Rum Ting's born. Again, like I said, I didn't like rum. This drink, it's nearly my chosen drink now. It's a balance between gin and rum at the moment. I try and do both, but I can't see colours. So it's just a nightmare. But you have the rum with lemonade, or I've been using this again with Fever Tree as well. It's the Sicilian lemonade. With the lemons coming through, it's just really nice. Problem is, you can't taste the alcohol in it, so you're sitting there drinking it, and again, you go, oh, can't stand up, sort of thing. So with the rum coming through, again, people have taken it on wholesale as well. And this year we're trying to get it into some pub chains and off trade and different like supermarkets and stuff, trying to progress that way. With both the gin and the rum, I entered gin into the Gin Ting into the World Gin Awards, which we received silver for flavoured gin, which was amazing. Couldn't believe that. And then just this year we entered Rum Ting into the Spirits Business. Spirits Business is a big magazine as such out there. A lot of the industry read and stuff, and they do their own awards. And I entered Rum Ting in there, and it got gold in the Masters Awards, which again was just can't believe it. You know, I'm like, where's this coming from? So moving forward, we're going to bring out some more rums and gins. So we've got currently Gin Ting Passion Fruit, Gin Ting Berries. I'm going to bring out the base gin, the London Dry. Probably one of my favourite gins, to be fair. I do like just a standard gin and tonic. There's a lot of people out there that aren't really keen on the flavoured gins, but this as a London Dry, it's excellent. My old man says it's quaffable. I presume that means it's just firing them down sort of thing. It's very Moorish. Following on from that, we've got rum, obviously Rum Ting Passion Fruit. We're going to do Rum Ting Berries, and then a spiced rum, which is like cinnamon, vanilla. This will be your rum and coke that you'd normally order. Whereas the other rums, I prefer to go for lemonade or a ginger ale or something like that, just a bit lighter. We've got a tequila coming out as well, so that's going to be coming out hopefully in the summer. Doggone tequila. So it's a passion fruit, mango and elderflower, get the gist, tequila. Rather than just being a slammer, which you could do, you can actually have it with lemonade as a longer drink or a fruit juice and such. I hope it's inspired you in a way, and I hope you've understood what I've said, because my accent's terrible. I hope you enjoy Gin Ting, and I hope you're all safe in these crazy times. The weather's helped, and gin goes down quite well when the sun's out. So I hope you've enjoyed it. You take care, and hopefully I'll see you all soon, and have a Gin Ting when you're out. Really appreciate it. Take care.